I don't understand. How can you all be so calm and cool about this?
We've all been waiting for it to happen. Just didn't know how it was going to rear its ugly head.
What?
The New World Order.
Population reduction.
Is that what you and Lily were filming?
Yeah.
Tell me.
There's no going back from this, dear. Everything will change for you once you know.
Tell me.
I believe we are enslaved in a society where we will not be free to think or feel or do anything other than consume. Slaves for work to buy things beyond our means. Living in fear of terrorism. I believe this is to blindside us, trick us into a situation where they, the powers that be, will wipe us out. Kill most of us. Kill all of us here. They are going to reduce the population.
There will be a global population reduction until there are only 500 million people there.
How would they reduce the population? We're not stupid.
Hitler said, the bigger the lie, the more the people will believe it.
I think it would be done Hitler style. The armed forces are going to kill us. They'll follow orders. It's what they've been trained to do. They're being taught to be racists. The army are already killing people in other countries. People in power are using fear to fuel the racism. How long before they use this racism to make soldiers turn on their own? Innocent people. Living in a police state.
It's already begun. Controlling and monitoring the movement of individuals within the society. Putting chips in passports, ID cards, CCTV.
They're using this orchestrated ruse to convince the public to accept Big Brother-type controls. And then they will intentionally reduce the mass of the world's population. Mass genocide on a scale never seen before. There are a mass of ways they could introduce population slaughter. More staged events, orchestrated and maneuvered conflicts, and the use of bioengineered diseases. Vaccines. They could come in vaccines. Women are being encouraged to get sterilized. What if they're using cervical cancer jabs? It'll be done in a barbaric fashion, using draconian methods, and this global holocaust will probably come out from under the flag of the UN.
I can almost imagine us being frog-marched away from our homes in a martial law kind of way, and no one bats an eyelid.
In order to stabilize world population, they need, or want, to dispose of 6.5 billion people. It's a horrible thing to say, but isn't it just as bad not to say it?
I mean, how can they, John?
It's bullshit. It's got to be.
Why?
Because that would make my whole life a lie.
Play building blocks with me.
What? Ernest?
Please, Dion. Just one game.
Okay.
How did it fall?
How did it fall? Forwards.
Why?
Well, it's about balance. You take it out one side, the balance is off, it topples over, and gravity pulls it down.
Every time?
Yeah.
Are you certain?
Yeah.
Now, when we play this, we pull out blocks from all over the structure because we don't want to be responsible for it falling over. Am I correct?
Yeah.
What happens if we only pull out blocks from one side?
Same thing.
Please demonstrate. So, they fall over,
Yeah.
not down.
No. Ernest, what's your point?
With any kind of building blocks, when you pull out the blocks from the side, it falls over at that point. Well, then explain to me how, when an aeroplane was flown into one of the Twin Towers on September the 11th, that building collapsed in on itself. What about the other tower? Scientifically, mathematically, or blockily, those buildings should have fallen over, not inwards. I mean, I'll concede to the idea that by some sort of miracle, one of those towers could have collapsed in on itself. But both of them? I'm afraid I doubted that the moment I watched it happen live. It is inconceivable that those planes brought those buildings down.
But watch a controlled demolition, it looks the same.
If a picture says 1,000 words, then our eyes can see 1,000 lies. See it to believe it.
Who would... How could... Who would do that? Why would they?
Fear.
9/11, like 7/7, is pure theatre. Nothing more.
September the 11th, 2001 was a ruse, a show, a charade that even a child could identify.
Bullshit. No fucking way. No way.
Dion, you need to understand that.
Not from us, she doesn't. She's got to do it herself.
Pardon?
She's got to do it herself. She's got to look, research, make an educated judgment. We can't do that for her. Right?
Right.
Here's a laptop. On this bookcase, there are hundreds of books you can read. Here, and this is the address for the British Library, home of every book in the country, and the address of a smaller bookshop. They can tell you about workshops and seminars you can go to. We've shown you the door. It's up to you to open it. I'd say slowly, slowly catch a monkey, but they want to reduce the population by about 95%. Not sure you can afford to be slowly, slowly. Do you?
For most, this is nothing more than a story, a diversion from the outside world. Within some of you, a feeling is starting to stir. It doesn't matter where you're from, what culture you're from, what colour your skin is, what God you believe in, or if you believe in a God at all. You will be affected. The cracks are beginning to show. Maybe you choose to ignore it. Maybe you don't know how to face it, or maybe you think you're alone in this. For most, this is nothing more than a story, a diversion from the outside world. But within some of you, a feeling is starting to stir. It's time to stand up, with eyes open, ears down to the ground. A change is long overdue. So wake up. Question everything. Are you awake? Wake up. Now.